Yeah, Tessa Smith, Mama's Geeky. Thank you both so much for taking the time.
Hi,
Thank
nice to meet
you.
you.
Great
Thanks
to
for
meet
having
you.
us.
Oh, nice to meet you guys. Listen, my family is like super into anime. My girls are 13 and 15, and like
Oh,
we watch everything as a family. It's amazing.
Love that.
Yeah, it's and so that's why I want to ask you guys, like, what does it mean to you to know that animes are such a like family affair so often, and really it's something that I can connect with my teenagers over, which is rare. So what does it mean to you guys? It's really generational.
Mm. I value that so much. I wish my family was into anime. I wish my parents were into anime so that I could show them what I'm in and watch it with them. But my one of my sisters is super into anime because her husband got her into anime. And so I get to share in that love with them. And I have friends who their families they watch anime together. I've always wanted that. I
Mhm.
love that family dynamic. I love that they get to share in that love together. They get to have that similarity of interests.
Mm.
And yeah, I suppose everyone has their difference in genre, uh, but when you find one that aligns, I think it's really cool to be able to get together with your family and watch it together. I love that.
Yeah, and I love that you said it was like a generational thing because that's so true. And like my cousin was actually the one who got me into anime, and so it's like really cool to come back to him later and be like, "Hey, guess what? So there's a thing now." And it's such an exciting thing to share. And even Morgan, like you said, with friends and like partners and nieces, like it's just so it's it adds to the excitement and it adds to the connection for sure.
You're like, look how cool your cousin is now. Just saying.
You did this. You showed me it was like an action anime when I was like 10 years old, and he's like, "Really? I can't believe you remember that." I was like, "Yep." So,
that's
it's
that's
just fun,
incredible.
yeah.
Oh man. I mean, like you said, Morgan, about genres, but we always like each pick one, and then we make it, and then usually within like two episodes, everyone's all in anyway, because we're invested and we have conversations about it. And so,
Mhm.
that's what I just love so much about anime in general. But in regards to going into the second season here, what were you both really most excited to get to explore with your characters and dive into?
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're both like new I think it's just growth. Like it's further first it's like being excited to come back to something that you love. I think is always such a blessing, and like I'm so grateful that like I had a chance to like circle back around um to Alicia and like her story and these characters in this world. Um but just like character growth and seeing new situations, new characters, new change, like it's just a very fiery thing. Like it's really cool.
Yeah, what Katie said, growth. I'm really looking forward to seeing more growth in Klen's character and Alicia's character and their relationship with each other, the growth in Klen and how he is learning to respect Alicia more. Maybe he'll be nicer to her in the future. We can hope. But I do love those moments where he teases her because those are so fun. But yeah, it's the relationships, the growth of their relationships, and Klen and his all powerfulness, learning to work with humanoids and learning more about their society and how they work and how Alicia can help him discover that. I am so looking forward to more of those types of moments.
Well, like, so speaking of growth, this is just the second season, but like, if they were to go back and look at themselves at the beginning of season one, what do you think would surprise them the most about how far they've come, or what their journey's been like?
Mm.
Oh, Clen Clevatess. I don't think he saw this coming. I I mean, he gets a hold of a baby and then he makes the decision, okay, I'll raise this thing, this humanoid. let's see what happens. And he develops, I feel he's developing empathy and care for Luna, this prince, and Alicia, this hero who was originally sent to kill him. Look how that turned out. Uh, but I don't think he would have seen this coming if he could look back. I I feel he's grown so much. I think he'd be surprised by what he sees.
Yeah. I think Alicia would definitely be surprised too. It's that like my how the turntables, like this creature that she was going to kill, she now works for. Like it's like the like why how did this happen? She's got an eye patch, like she's been through a lot. But at the same time as like she's kind of had this like um change in like her physical makeup is probably the best way to put that. She's had to learn new skills and she's had to work with people she never expected. And so um, I love, her perspective on like expanding the world, making the world bigger, and how that also relates to like not just like going out and exploring the world, but like your inner world and how meeting new people and meeting more people and experiencing life just like makes your world bigger. And I think she would be shocked at how big her world is right now, and I love that for her.
Oh, I love that too. Well, like speaking of all this growth, how do you approach the voice acting side of it, going into the second season? Because they have evolved so much that it can't be the same, style as the very beginning of the first season. And that's something I always get so impressed with what you guys do, how you can actually through your voice, like portray a whole evolved character. You know what I mean? Like it does
Yeah.
change and evolve. But can you talk about approaching going into this season?
Yeah. Morgan, do you want to start?
Sure, yeah. I do feel that Klen has developed more of a warmth over time. And despite his moments of arrogance and showing off his power and his foreboding energy, I feel because of the journey with him and Alicia and Luna and Nelaru, these new companions of his, he is becoming he's becoming maybe just a bit soft. Um, Possibly. Still all powerful, but there's this new side to him that we're seeing. And I feel I am able to put on this softer side to him vocally. And I love going back and forth from those all powerful moments to those endearing, warm moments that he has with those characters. Yeah, that growth has shifted him in a way.
Mm, I love that. And I feel like running on this like through line of growth, the biggest thing I think that's helped me in my like vocal journey with Alicia is definitely her growth, but also her growth in confidence, I feel.
Mm.
Um, because I think what I see in the beginning is in as first impressions of her is to me she's a hero, so that's like stoic and her voice rests like deep in her chest because she's putting it there, and she's a hero and she's determined, and her she's doing this for her father, you know what I mean, like she's got these very strong this very strong perspective, and then these things happen and she doesn't expect them to happen, and like you said, Morgan, I think that brings a warmth, it brings a humanness to her. um we see more of how she'll react in like situations she didn't expect and situations that she's not in control, I think is a huge thing. um but then also something I've really loved is like as she's kind of grown into her confidence and I feel like what she um might anticipate like what her version of a hero is, that same voice has stayed there in that deep register, I feel like, but it's got more freedom. There's freedom to move, there's freedom to play and like pick with Klen when they argue, this like kind of sibling-esque relationship, and this care and this devotion for Nellaroo and Luna and these people she meets, anybody she meets. Like she's kind of just like, yep, all right, this is, you know, how it is. But it's a sureness. Uh it's not a forced stoicism. It's a no, I know who I am, whether she registers it or not. And I love that because it's still the same tone. It's just a little bit different. There's a little bit, like you said, there's a little more warmth, and that leads to like her confidence and the cheekiness in season 2 and all of the like joy and like just playfulness that we get to see from her now. Like she's figuring out who she is, and I love that a lot.
I was just gonna say she's finding herself more this
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is always good. I love when I get to see characters that like really get to know who they are and embrace it.
Yes.
You know?
And she wouldn't have been able to do that without Klen or without Luna. So like the thing that she was going to destroy, you know, has kind of built her into this new or the person she always was. It's like reinforced, and I think that's also a really cool like a testament to their relationship. Is like, yeah, they pick and they bicker and whatever, but like they're good for each other somehow, you know.
I don't think of how different her life would have been if she, you know, one different decision. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. For both of you, is there something you feel like you have learned from playing this character, or that you would like to learn from this character and maybe take with you?
Yeah, the answer is yes. It's the like, there's so many things. Like, what would you take from Klen?
I feel I would love to take his sense of confidence. I wish I had that for myself. He is so powerful, and in life, we are more powerful than we think. We hold more power than we assume in ourselves, but Klen knows. He knows his power, and he asserts that dominance over everyone. So I feel if I could take something from this, it would be to be more confident in myself and to understand that I do have power in life and I shouldn't have to shy away from it.
Oh, I love that.
I think it kind of runs along the same track for Alicia too. I love, as we've been talking, I feel like we find these really interesting parallels between Klen and Alicia and how their stories kind of weave back and forth. But I think it's just she's got so much passion and dedication, and she charges forward. Like she's a act now, think later kind of person. And I tend to be a think too much, act when I'm ready to go kind of person. And I really admire the gusto of passion. And I think I would love to be able to pull that more, and not to say that she's not strategic or smart or think, but I feel like she's very much a character that lets her heart lead. And I would love to, like you said, like unashamedly, and I would love to incorporate that more and just, yeah, like be unafraid of passion, I think is the best way to say that.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you both so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Congratulations on everything. I love this show, so I can't wait to keep seeing more of it.
Yay! Thank you so much.
It was great meeting you.
Yes, lovely to meet you guys. Thank you. So, Tessa Smith with Mama's Geeky. Thank you both so much for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tessa. Hi.
Hi. Okay. So I got to tell you, anime is like massive in my family. My girls are 13 and 15, and we sit down as a family like every night and watch something on Crunchyroll.
Oh,
So
I love hearing that.
and this is like one of our favorites to watch. So like They are so jealous. The girls, they're at school today and they're like, I'm so jealous.
Well, please tell them that we say hi.
Hello.
I will for sure. Well, I want to start off with like asking you guys, what does it mean that anime and this show in particular can be like a generational thing for families to sit down and watch and enjoy together?
I think that's extraordinary. I think that's wonderful. I think that's beautiful. My dad and I watch anime together. I got my dad into Full Metal Alchemist, the original FMA. And that was his gateway in. We watched Attack on Titan together. I just started him on Ranking of Kings, which he's really, really enjoying. Uh, I think that's incredible, and especially with a story like Mushoku Tensei that is itself so multi-generational, and so much about your own growth as a human being and how your relationships to other people shift and how those dynamics change and evolve over time. I think it's amazing. I think it's so cool to watch that with your family. I can't watch this show with my dad. I'm not gonna watch this one with my dad, but I think it's awesome that you're watching it with your girls. That's just a me personally thing. If I wasn't in it, we might have it might be a different story.
That's too funny. Yeah, I think that is amazing, and that's something that I'm really excited to do someday. With my two little boys, I have my older one is almost 5. He turns 5 next month, and then I also have a 5-month-old baby. So he's a little while to go before he's old enough to watch anime. But we're not too far off from my older one, and so I'm really excited to get to share some fun shows with him. I think that's going to be a fun experience, and yet it's so rewarding to hear that Mushoku Tensei has been a show that you've watched with your family. That's really cool.
My 15-year-old suggested it. We all suggest something and then we watch it. And that was the one. She was like, my friend said this is really good. We're going to watch it. And we were like, okay. And that was like after season 1. So now think of how far we've come.
Amazing.
That's amazing. And I also love finding more women and girls who are interested in Mushoku Tensei.
Yes.
I feel like we make up a very small percentage of this fandom.
That's probably true. It's probably accurate. Well, speaking of like growth, and we're in season 3 now. Like if your characters were to go back and look at themselves the first time we saw them, what do you think they would be most surprised about the journey they've had?
I think maybe Eris. My guess is that she would be surprised at how much she has grown and changed and matured.
I think she'd be surprised at her discipline.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think she can be really, really, really hard on herself. And probably if there was a way for her to go back and visit her younger self, that could be very enlightening for her, to kind of show her how far she really has come. Because she's very hard on herself, and often doesn't think that she's doing well enough or improving quickly enough. And I think if she really could see how far she actually has come, that could be helpful for her. But alas, she does not have a time machine.
This is something that Rudy has talked about. Kind of, I don't remember if this was internal or external monologuing, but I think he's mentioned a few times here and there how he has had to learn to stop treating people in this world like they're not people. Like it took him several years after being born into this world to be like, these are other human beings.
Yeah.
This is a reality. This is not an elaborate dream. I can't treat these people like video game characters. I don't get to quick save. I don't get to restart whenever I want. Like, these are human beings, and the things that I say and the things that I do have consequences. And I think that was a very hard learned lesson for him. But I think he is so internalized that at this point where we find him in season 3 that I think it would shock him to see or to remember the way that he spoke to or spoke about some of the people in his life. And I kind of hope he doesn't really dwell on that. Like, I think that would also break his heart. Like, I think he would be so ashamed of himself. Like, I think this man is very prone to shame. And I think if anything, he deserves to be more proud of the growth that he has exhibited rather than shame over not having been there from the beginning.
No, that makes perfect sense. I
Yeah.
can see that for sure. Don't dwell on the shame. Just look how far you've come.
Yeah, you're so much better. You got better.
Focus on the progress made.
Exactly. Well, speaking of the growth and you guys getting to be these characters for so long, which must be so fun to get to grow alongside a character as well. Can you talk about how you approach, coming at them voice wise, which I always find so impressive. How you all like how you do your job, and you can really feel like this character has changed just through their voice, not even appearance. But can you talk about approaching that growth, and especially heading into this season?
Ooh, well, season 1 for me came a little more naturally because he was a tiny little baby boy. He was very small, and he didn't have to sound, he's just a little guy. He's just a little dude. But over the course of season 1, we watch him go from little bitty baby to like 6 or 7. How old is he when the Mana incident takes place? Like, it's after his 10th birthday because he gets a step. So he's like 11.
I was
like 11 or something. So by the time he's 11, we go from 11 to, I want to say 15 in season 2, and that was where a lot of my focus was grounded for season 2, was making sure that this voice is consistent across this age, because he grew up so quickly in season 1, and we're spending a lot more time in these years in season 2, and then making sure I still also had someplace to go as he got even older for season 3. I should make a spreadsheet. I don't know if that would help.
How about for you, Lindsay, approaching the growth and
Yeah, I mean, it's always a treat, getting to play a character that does go through growth, and a character you can watch kind of grow up some. Perhaps with Eris, it's not quite to the same degree as with Rudeus, because we don't see Eris as a baby or anything like that. But still, she certainly goes through a lot of changes and a lot of development, and I love. That as the show goes on, you get to see some more of those vulnerable moments that she has, where she's softer and quieter, and a little more self-aware about how she's acting and what she's saying. Yeah, I don't know if I have like a specific approach that I have. I like to, my acting approach in general is I take what comes, and I just dive right in, and I put myself in the shoes of the character, and I just kind of think about, okay, what is it that they have been going through, what's the moment that they're in right now, how are they feeling, and it just kind of, yeah, the voice kind of follows naturally from there.
Yeah, if you guys go back to like when you first got like your audition or whatever for this, what was it about this story that really drew you in and made you excited?
The trailer.
Yeah.
This sounds so ridiculous to say, but I saw the first trailer for this anime and I fell in love with it.
I love
immediately and unconditionally. I was like, I need this. I need this in my life.
And then you got it. You manifested.
And then I manifested it really hard.
Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually I didn't know anything about the show or the light novels. I knew nothing about the character when I was cast. I hadn't even auditioned for it. I had worked with our director, Jeremy Inman, on other projects in the past, and he thought that I would be a good fit for Eris, so he cast me. But I went into the first session knowing absolutely nothing, which is how I usually go into any session for the first time for a new anime show that I'm working on. That's my preference, is to go in with a clean slate. And I apologize, you might be hearing a garbage truck driving by.
You're fine.
um, anyway, yeah, so I prefer to go in with a clean slate because I find that it's easier for the director to then guide me toward what he or she is envisioning for the character, and how they think the character should sound. And I let them take the lead on that. And yeah, it's easier to kind of, for me personally, to play around with different voices and different tones and that kind of thing if I go in with no preconceived notions whatsoever.
Yeah. Well,
And-
so go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's worth noting that 99% of the time I do exactly the same thing. Mushoku is unique just in that I was already set to do the English dub scripts before I was cast in the show, so I was bound to wind up reading the light novels anyway. But if that's not my job, then I do often prefer to go in as an actor as blind as I can for the exact same reasons. It feels so much better to go in and be open
Yeah.
to options.
Yeah.
Rather than, and I've messed myself up on audition. I've been not cast in things because I walked into an audition with a thing in my head about,
Yeah, it's like
I
know
want to
too
do
much.
it this way.
Yeah.
Or I'll
That makes
over
sense.
rehearse myself and then won't
Yeah,
be
oh,
able to
that's such a thing
bust
too,
myself out of it.
over-rehearsing.
Yeah. Oy.
Oh,
Oy.
Yeah, it's
well,
easier to just be present, I think is what it is. If like you just don't know anything, you can just be present in the moment, and which is always the goal as an actor, is to be as present as possible. And so I find for me, yeah, and a lot of other actors are the same way, that that's the easiest way to make that happen.
yeah, it makes sense. Less in your head about it all.
Exactly.
yeah.
Just
Oh,
less,
yeah.
Got no,
less noise in your head. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Well, Lindsay, for you then, once you really started diving into this character and this story, what was it that like made you so excited about it?
Well, immediately right off the bat, in that first session, we watched Eris's first scene, and it was immediately apparent that Eris is a very strong female character with a very fiery personality. And so I was so excited because characters like that are so much fun to play. And I, knew that, okay, I'm going to have to bring a very big bottle of water with me for every recording session I have for Eris, because she really likes to use her voice. she's
Just a little.
she's often quite loud.
Are you like a loud person normally, or is that like a push for you?
If you asked my husband, he would say yes, I am. He would say yes, that I am quite loud. However, I think then if I were to show him, I don't think he's ever watched Mushoku Tensei before, but I should show him some scenes. Not just because it's a great show, but also so I can show him, see, okay, I'm not as loud as Eris is. Okay.
It could be worse.
You may think I'm emotional. Look at Eris. She's way more emotional than me.
You should show him an early trailer in Japanese and be like, guess which one I am.
Yo, my gosh, please
Probably
do that.
guess correctly immediately.
He'd be like, that one. I love it. Real quick, well, I have to wrap actually, but I was gonna say real quick, just going into conventions and stuff, because I love like cosplayers and it's one of my favorite things. Real quick, couple words. What does it mean to you guys when people portray your characters?
I have sprinted across convention halls to flying tackle a Rudeus cosplayer.
I love it.
I have. I love it. It's so exciting to see.
Very exciting. I think there are a few things more exciting than seeing somebody cosplaying a character that you've portrayed. There's something really special about that.
Yeah, I love conventions. We go as a family. No surprise there. We're big anime family. So thank you both so much for your time. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything. Yes,
Thank you
nice
so
to meet you guys.
much.
Of course,
Have a good
of
one.
course. Yes, you too. Yeah, Tessa Smith with Mama's Geeky. Thank you both so much for taking the time today.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I want to know, first of all, what was it about this story that really connected with you both and made you excited to be a part of it?
So much. Not only is the story just so enthralling and so fun and so interesting, but being half Lebanese, I rarely get a chance to portray these kinds of characters. So I was very, very excited to do that, particularly. I've always wanted this experience. So, and I didn't, it's so cool that it's happening in an anime, because I don't know if I've ever seen one. Maybe I'm not saying that it's the only one, but for me personally, I'd never seen an anime about this period of time and about these people. So it's been very exciting.
Yeah, for me, just piggybacking off Christina, I immediately was so excited to be part of a project that could authentically portray Arabs. I'm Algerian, so that meant the world to me to be able to play Mohammed, who is also Arab. You know, I read the manga before going into the booth, and the world of Jaadugar is so beautiful and mesmerizing. Starting in Tosiran, going into the Mongol Empire, was just so fun. And I haven't seen an anime like this before, and so I was just super excited, not only for my character but just where the series goes.
Yeah. Well, like on top of that, like what does it mean to you guys that so many people around the world are going to see this? It gets to be brought to screens where, like, I know my family personally, we sit down and watch Crunchyroll like every night. We love it. We love anime together. My girls are 13 and 15, and so it's like a family affair. So like, what does it mean to you guys to know that people are seeing this on a global scale?
I think about that.
You're like, I don't want to know.
I mean, it's so interesting because I feel like I'm very good at compartmentalizing. So every week, I'm very fortunate. I work every single day, even the weekends. And to me, the only time where I'm cognizant of the fact that these shows have massive fan bases and they're really touching the hearts of people of all ages, all around the world, is when I travel to conventions. And I get to see that feedback live. And then that's when I'm like, oh, yeah. And it's a great feeling. But for myself as an actor, I feel like I very much need to be like laser focused on the story and not get caught up in that, because that is it could be a little overwhelming to think about. There are some things that I will not let myself think about, and I say, like, one day when I'm old and gray and done, then I'll be like, oh my God. So that's my little my insider secret. It's just compartmentalize, stay focused in the job, and everything it's all just gravy. It's all extra, and I'm very happy to see, especially the reception that this show is getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to Christina, I don't really think about it. Not saying that it's not important. It is. Like, I'm really glad that this particular anime has that global outreach, and there are people all around the world watching an anime as special as this. But I think that, for me, I'm just trying to be the best me, the best Muhammad I can be, right? And I think it goes for any actor in the production. We are trying to authentically portray these characters as best as possible. There are battles, there are internal battles. And so, working with all the people involved, speaking about, the anime with different people, it's really special. And I hope the fans, whether it be America or outside, kind of sees the love that we put into the project, because it's, again, I can't tell you another anime that's like this. It's just so different, and it really sticks out. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned, Yussef, that you read the manga, but Christina, have you checked it out at all, or do you kind of like to not know till you get the script where things are going?
I was looking for all the manga and then I was like, no, I'm gonna read about the real people. So I bought some lengthy books. They're a little intimidating, but that's what I'm working on. And
That's
then
fun.
yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's really cool. So, okay, what has been your favorite thing so far about this character in particular, your characters that you're playing?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm playing like 7 different characters because she just keeps changing and her voice is changing and she's getting older and she's getting more mature. And then we get a taste of her adult personality with all the narration that we do as she's looking back and telling her story. And I can't wait to see how we get to that point because she's so grounded, she's so serious. So I'm excited to see.
I mean, for me, Muhammad really reminds me of myself when I was younger. I mean, I was always this kid that like wanted to know a lot, wanted to know the most in the classroom, like never felt, like, no, I can do more, I can do more. And so I really related to his journey and his passion, right? But I think my favorite moment with Muhammad is that moment on the roof where I kind of dropped that big pan and Sitara is kind of mesmerized about like, oh, this is knowledge. And that felt really cool to have that teaching moment with her. And that's kind of where the relationship blossoms. And that felt really special to me because I know as the series progresses, she thinks about those moments and what she's fighting for. But yeah, Muhammad just, I really relate to him. I really like, what pushes him, what drives him. And I think that when it comes to Muhammad, especially seeing a character, because it's a coming of age tale,
Yeah.
I really do hope that down the line, I don't know, I hope that Muhammad does come back, and you can kind of see the growth he has with Sitara.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure we will. So obviously reading the manga is one thing, and then reading the script is another thing, to get it visualized in your head. But when you guys get to actually see the characters, now I know a lot of times, you get to see certain things in the booth, but like, what is it like for you guys when you see that character come to life? It's got to be really cool.
So I don't get the script ahead of time. Do you, Yusuf?
No, I don't.
Oh, wow.
So I stopped doing this because I want to be surprised about the story, but I would watch it as it dropped on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
And so that would give me idea of where the story's going and the emotional beats that I needed to hit. And so that's the first time. Usually when we're doing titles like this, we don't get the script ahead of time, and we don't really. Sometimes we don't even know who we're playing until we're stepping into the booth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sometimes we don't. So it's all about just being open and receptive, and getting really good at making choices on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's absolutely right. Being adaptable, learning on the fly is extremely important to our craft. But for Muhammad's sake, like, I already had that foundation because I happened to watch the first 2 episodes when they dropped, and I read the manga.
Yeah.
But when it comes to portraying it in English, because we have to localize, it's still a little different, right? And so working with Sean, the director, it was a seamless process. He's very good at breaking down these scenes, understanding the motivation, right? Like, I'm in the driver's seat, right? But he's right there telling me, hey, like, what do you feel about this? Like, so we had that really productive discourse going on, and that felt really good. And he does that with all the actors, and so we're able to work together to make this product the best it can be. But yeah, I mean, for me, like, I kind of had a sense of familiarity what Muhammad would be, and it mostly aligned with what I believed. But you always got to be on your toes when it comes to dubbing.
Oh, for sure. And then Christina, you had mentioned, you're researching the real people, this real time. And so when you're doing something, and this can be for both of you, that actually has like a historical aspect to it, does that change how you approach the character and just the world in general?
I always defer to what the director, both the voiceover director and the animation director, have created for us. because even though it's based off of real events, this is still a stylized adaptation. So I always want to be true to this artistic version of it, and we do that by referencing the Japanese performances and seeing where they were directed to, and then we adapt it for, you know, our English-speaking audience. But there is, like, emotionally, there is a reverence in knowing that we are telling somebody's story, and to me that makes it even more exciting to see where it goes. And I'm so happy that I don't know every detail about this journey, because this has been a real fun way to learn about it.
Yeah, for me, I did a little bit of research. I knew that my character was loosely based off Muhammad Nasir al-Din Tus, the famous polymath back in 13th century Iran. And as I was doing my reading, I really was interested in his life. But I had to put a pause on that because at the end of the day, Christina's absolutely correct. This is an adaptation by Science Saru, right? And they did a phenomenal job adapting this tale. And I didn't want to be married to his life at the end of the day. I wanted to have my own, take my own lived experiences, my foundation of reading the manga and watching the episode, and working with the director to provide the best version of Muhammad I can be. And I think with everybody, we did a phenomenal job trying to give the most authentic, real version of those characters in that world.
Yeah. Well, Cristina, you had mentioned conventions, right? So my family, like I said, we're big Crunchyroll anime fans. We go to Anime Pasadena here in the LA area, like every year. We absolutely love it. But like, how special is it for you when you go and you see these people? Also, the cosplayers are always so insane. Like, what does that mean to you that these characters touch these people so much? Oh, you're muted.
I feel very honored. I personally, I have the stance that I'm not these characters. I am the steward of these characters. And so I always want to interact with people in a way knowing that these are important characters, because we're watching anime, we're playing video games, but it's not just entertainment. We're relating, we're having life experiences, we are healing through what we consume. So I take it with a lot of reverence, and it does feel like a lot of responsibility, where I want to be receptive to kind of taking these feelings and these stories on behalf of the characters that I play, like Sitara, while knowing like they're separate entities, you know what I mean? And I'm just the person lucky enough to be able to share in these stories with these characters, and in a lot of ways too, like I'm feeling the same way, like they're healing me too, and they are showing me things about myself as well. So it's such an interesting, like it's not like nothing I've ever experienced before, because we're having all these like conversations with people one after another, but it's not surface level. It can go really deep. And so I just try to be open and receptive and present with everybody who comes to the table.
Yussef, how about for you? What does it mean to you that these characters can mean so much to people?
I mean, it means everything to me. I mean, from the very get-go, I was so astonished with the absolute outpour and support of these characters. I actually haven't been to a convention since the release of Jaadugar. I was at Anime Expo when it dropped, but since the show has like really picked up, I've seen a lot of fan art, which is awesome to see, of my character and Sitara and other characters. And, to see people, whether it be on Twitter or other socials, just talk about their love for the show, talk about this is what their theories are or whatever. I don't interact with it, but I kind of lurk from a distance. Like, this is so cool to see that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, I do agree with Cristina. We're not the characters, right? We are just a portrayal of it. We do the best we can with it. And so, yeah, we're attached to the characters, but anybody can appreciate this media and this anime any way they want, in a positive way. And so to see that on socials is really, really cool. And I love seeing the future of Jaadugar. I love seeing, I hope to go to a con and see Muhammad cosplayers and see more fan art of my character or Sitara or anybody in the show. I think it's really, really cool, especially for something as near and dear of an anime as this.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure it's just around the corner. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Congratulations. And I can't wait to continue to watch this. I've seen the first few episodes. And it's so good.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you
so much.
See you.